Another thing that happened recently was the I can't believe that I'm going to say this, the YouTube versus TikTok boxing event. But all these boxing matches, other than Logan and Jake Paul, anyone else in these boxing matches, it's just where careers go to die. If you're doing a boxing match, you're scraping the bottom of the barrel, and that's what this was.
There were only, I think, how many fights were there? There was 4 fights?
4 fights, and what it was every fight was a YouTuber versus a TikToker.
That's right.
Which I think is unfair purely because I didn't watch all of the fights, but wouldn't almost every fight there'd be a big age difference? Like it would be, if you're a TikToker,
Yes.
it'd be like a 17, or I assume an 18, 19-year-old versus like a 25-year-old.
This is Deji versus his guy. Look at the age difference. There's like 10 years there.
Oh, but Deji lost that fight, which is
Yes.
not surprising considering he looks like too mad there.
And then there was Bryce Hall versus Austin McBroom.
Austin McBroom,
And he's
who's a family vlogger, but he must be like,
He's in his mid-30s.
yeah. Did he win?
Yeah,
trashed it.
he demolished.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then who else was there? There was
a TikToker versus a YouTuber I didn't know called Gib or something, and that fight,
yeah.
the guy called Gib, I watched a few clips of it, demolished the TikTok guy, but it was listed as a draw. So now everyone's yelling about, oh, maybe it was rigged.
Jake Paul fought him once.
Oh, that's right. Jake Paul trashed him. That's how I know
won.
the name.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, okay. Gib came back with a vengeance. Took all his frustrations out on a TikTok kid.
One of the pre-show entertainment things I had DJ Khaled rapping.
But this is the shit with these types of events is like, I always think, oh, I wonder if they made a lot of money. And then I hear they got fucking DJ Khaled to perform. Surely he's not touching the stage for less than like $100,000.
What also confuses me is every single time there's a new boxing match, it's run by someone else. First it was YouTube, then it was Triller. Now it's called Social Gloves.
Social Gloves.
That's, yeah.
What is that?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's where are these companies coming from, and how do these YouTubers keep scamming them?
Yes.
Like, if you're not Logan and Jake Paul, those two are probably the only people I feel like they could make a lot of money for a company that signs up. That's why they're with Showtime.
Yeah.
Showtime saw them do it, and they're like, okay, these guys are legit. They can make money. They can rile up an audience that will actually pay for it. These other weird apps and companies.
Showtime released the stats from the Logan Paul Mayweather fight. 1 million pay-per-view sold.
Sold?
Yeah.
What the? That's like 50 million.
But wasn't it expected that
Oh, no,
Mayweather was going to make
good.
100 million?
I think they were expecting $200 million
Yeah.
gross.
I think actually Mayweather was saying that his boxes that he was wearing was worth $30 million.
Yeah. It's all the money's in sponsorship and stuff. Although, is that just Showtime's number? Because wasn't there a nut like Fan Mio? Does that count?
Oh, I don't know. Is that associated with?
I'm not sure.
I think there's like 3 or 4 different companies involved because Australia had a whole different one.
Yeah, that's another thing that I don't really understand about these boxing ones is like, it's like one company does it, but then you can also buy a ticket through all these other companies. It's like, I get that if it was an in-person type thing where you go to your local bar and pay for it. But if it's the internet, why do multiple companies need to be involved? It's the internet.
Yeah.
It's a really confusing business. I don't pretend to understand it, but I do love the idea of just platforms versus platforms.
I want to show you this video, the DJ Khaled performing.
Yeah.
And then the music gets turned off while he's singing.
Oh, yes. Was the audience supposed to be singing along?
I think they're
They're not.
turned it off. I'll play it again.
He seems surprised.
Because he just stopped singing mid-sentence.
He's surprised, but he's like, all I do is win. Fuck, I've lost my place. I've lost my place. Come on, guys. Now I got to pretend that everyone's singing when they are clearly not. I love DJ Khaled. He's so funny in like, who the fuck likes him? He is Kim Kardashian of the music world. He's famous because he's famous.
I watched so much Keeping Up with the Kardashians while I was in Canberra.
They released their last season, huh?
It's good.
Yeah, it's got to be good. They kind of pioneered like reality TV. Like they made it as popular as it is.
Yeah, I'm a big Keeping Up with the Kardashians fan.
She's getting divorced from Kanye, right?
Hey, I'm not up to that part yet. I've
Well,
only
it's
watched
on Twitter.
I've
It's
only
not-
watched the first few
it's-
episodes.
It's real. You know that they're real people.
Yeah,
But you don't want spoilers
I don't want spoilers.
because reality
She's
is
only-
actually ahead of the reality TV.
She's still studying for her bar exam at this point in the series that I'm up to.
She's going to become a lawyer,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So no spoilers. I don't want to hear about it. I'm
Okay.
still watching it.
Great. Well, Kanye dies, killed by a meteor, strikes the Earth, wipes out most of the population. It gets fucking crazy. The meteor was actually just Kim's ass. She did a bomb in a pool and took out all of Seattle.
Real quick before we move on, I have an unpopular opinion about
Okay.
these boxing matches.
Not surprised.
I'm actually excited for the future of TikTok YouTube boxing.
Really?
Yes. Did you see
Why?
how much hype there was around the Bryce Hall fight?
I liked the platform versus platform beef.
Yeah.
Um,
Everyone on
that's
Twitter
fun.
was watching it.
Yeah. But there is a limit to that, like you couldn't have YouTube versus YouTube kids.
No, but
Minecraft YouTubers are doing that enough, actually. Maybe you could have YouTube versus, I tweeted this, YouTube versus YouTube employees.
Yep.
So you have Ethan Klein, Casey Neistat, Mr. Beast.
fuck, that
Oh,
scared the shit out of me.
oof. Versus Susan Wojcicki.
Yeah.
Maybe the CEO of Google.
Or the guy who creates videos for YouTube Creator Studio.
Yeah, one of those guys. Or like the janitor. He doesn't speak much English, but he looks like he could fuck up Casey Neistat,
Yeah.
I think that would be really good. What other platforms could you have?
Reels versus TikTok.
Yeah. It'd be a bunch of TikTokers versus no one. there is no real. I think I might be the only guy on earth who's ever created content for Reels with Real Talk.
Yeah.
It'd be 10 TikTokers versus me. I reckon I'd win.
Vimeo versus the Hub.
You could do. You could have Riley Reid versus who the fuck makes videos on Vimeo?
Oh, I used to watch one guy. I can't remember his name though.
You watched a guy on Vimeo?
Yeah.
You've got some weird interests. How about this? You have Throwback versus the Future. You have MySpace versus Vero. Again, it would be me versus anyone on MySpace. I'm the only person on Vero. It's the
You'd have-
future of social media. Guys, get on it.
Tom from MySpace, Mark Zuckerberg.
That's better.
Yeah.
CEOs of platforms. Who do you think is like the toughest multi-billionaire CEO? It's got to be Bezos. I
Yeah.
think. Bill Gates, it would lose every fight. I think he looks frail.
What about the CEO of Netflix?
He's a big guy.
Yeah.
Isn't he? From memory.
Like just muscular big.
Yeah, he looks like a big. Okay, so him and Jeff Bezos would be the heavyweight title fight. You could have.
Who's
You know what?
Wait, who's
I think that
Chinese guy.
Jack Ma.
Versus Mark Zuckerberg. That'd be about the same size.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Although Mark Zuckerberg's been learning weapons for some reason. Did you see that video of Mark Zuckerberg?
Yeah.
Like throwing a javelin with earmuffs on. Like, what are you protecting your ears from? There's no noise.
Yes, that's right.
That was good. Oh, you could have. Here's a good matchup for Bill Gates. He's a real frail guy. Hard to find someone in his weight class. You go Bill Gates versus Steve Jobs. I would still put my money on Steve.
Yeah. Bill, have you? Kind of related, unrelated.
Yeah.
Jeff Bezos. Have you seen his sexting messages between him and the girl he was having an affair with?
No.
I can't remember what they said, but it was leaked a few years ago, and that's why he got divorced with his wife.
Yes.
But he had a very public affair, and it was like the blandest, most uninteresting messages between them, and that was sexting.
That's great. At exactly 6:30 p.m., I would like to have sexual intercourse with you in the missionary position for the purposes of pro recreation only. She looks like a gargoyle. She got her claws in him. I feel sorry for Mackenzie. I mean, I don't. She became the richest woman on the planet through divorce.
Well, maybe her versus J.K. Rowling. If we're just talking about rich people.
Yeah, rich billionaires. You need to fill up the that's what actually what is missing from all of these like boxing matches. No women. I think the first ever like woman versus woman YouTuber boxing match would go off.
Erica Costello.
Who's that? Oh, some woman that's in Team 10?
Okay. Catherine
I
McBroom.
think that like, looking at the sound off section, you're going to have a lot of really positive feedback from the first half of your performance review.
Yeah, okay.
And then followed up by a lot of either much more positive or real negative feedback just based off this chat.
It's starting to become quite niche now.
Yeah. No.
Austin McBroom's wife.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Austin McBroom cheated on his wife with Erica Costello.
Oh, so those two fight.
So I think that's a good fight.
And whoever wins gets Austin McBroom. Mm-hmm. That's good. Or they both fight Austin at the same time.
Yeah.
I'd watch that. How about this? How about
Pretty sure he fights Catherine McBroom regularly, and there's proof of that.
Well, Keelan might be sure of that. I would like to say allegedly. Because that's the first I've heard of that.
This is all
It's all performance and satire and rumor.